guys, NCWQ here, and someone sent me an article, and I thought that it was interesting. This is an article that is from the Charlotte Observer, and this deals with an earthquake that we had here in North Carolina in 2020. And I'm going to go back to this one. This was the 2020 Sparta earthquake. That was the 5.1, and it occurred August 9th, 2020 at 8:07 a.m. The earthquake had a moment magnitude of 5.1 and a shallow depth of 7.6 kilometers. Anyway, that's not the story here. The story here is a crack in the ground more than 1.5 miles long found at the site of 2020 quake in North Carolina. A rupture in the ground has been discovered in the North Carolina community that saw widespread damage during a 5.1 magnitude earthquake in 2020, according to a peer-reviewed scientific paper published this month in the Geological Society of America. Now, what I'm showing y'all right here is where the epicenter took place for this earthquake. So I'm going to show y'all on this map. This is Sparta here. And then I'm going to put in the coordinates for the epicenter in this one. And we can see where this occurred. It was outside of Sparta. So this is the epicenter for where this earthquake occurred. Initial mapping shows the surface rupture is at least 1.5 miles long and appears southeast of Sparta as a step-like scarp that reaches heights of around 9 inches at its tallest, the scientists reported. It exposes a previously unknown fault in the earth, representing the first documented surface rupture earthquake in the eastern U.S., NC State University says. Geologists have named the newly discovered fault line the Little River Fault, and they note there is evidence earthquakes happened there in the past. The seismic activity continues even 2 years later, with a 2.1 magnitude earthquake and a 1.9 magnitude earthquake reported in the past 30 days, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Participants in the research included representatives of the U.S. Geological Survey and lead author Paula M. Figueredo. The earthquake occurred at 8:07 a.m. August 9th, 2020, and was shallow, centered just 3/4 of a mile below the surface. Still, it damaged roads, utility lines, and masonry structures, and shifted the foundations of some structures, the paper notes. It's very rare that a moderate magnitude earthquake, the Sparta quake was a 5.1, will create a rupture at the surface, according to the NC State University release. Most earthquakes are generated along fault plains located deep within the earth, commonly 5 to 7 miles below the surface, and a moderate earthquake that deep does not have enough energy to break the fault all the way to the surface, the university reports. Anyways, the earthquake happened along a reverse fault, a type of ground motion that pushed one side up and placed it on top of the other side. In this case, the south of Sparta was pushed up, Figueredo told McClatchy News. It runs through wooded areas, empty fields, and commercially developed sites, including Sparta's Greenway Drive Industrial Park, where several buildings atop the rupture saw moderate damage. Several residential homes up the hill from the rupture ground were severely impacted. The rupture also caused buckling of River's Edge Road, breaking a buried water pipe. The paper says the crack also runs through areas of dense forest growth, which prevented the scientists from making a closer inspection immediately after the earthquake in those spots, the paper states. Survey methods can look through the vegetation have been used more recently, allowing the scientists to extend the length of the groundbreaking, Figueroa said. The study is ongoing at the site of the rupture, she said. There is so much here left to understand. We don't even know what the fault line formed, when the fault line formed, but hopefully this earthquake can tell us more about these shallow quakes, not only in North Carolina, but all over the world. Sorry, you guys, y'all are hearing my phone going off. Figueroa said in an NC state release. These less active faults tend to move when there are pressure changes on the surface above them. These pressure changes can be due to things like sediment or water being added or released over time, Figueroa continued. But these characteristics don't apply in the Sparta region, which means that there may be something else at play that we don't fully understand yet. Anyways, you guys, I found this quite interesting and thought I would share it with you, and thanks to the person who shared the article with me. I appreciate it. Anyways, you guys, much love. I hope y'all are doing well. First, I'm going to do a tilt on here, and y'all can see what this area looks like real quick. Okay, so there's the tilt. Anyways, you guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Please take good care of yourselves and each other. Much love.